This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world as Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Yahee! Welcome. That's right. This is the Invent America show on the Home Talk USA radio network of, family. And we want to welcome all of you at the top of the hour right here. We are streaming on the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. Now I'd like to welcome my co-host and sidekick. They call her the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. Rita, how you doing?
I am fine. Oh, my goodness. It's lovely here today. It's nice to be outside and enjoying some of this great weather before I know the freeze is coming. So anyway, how are you today?
I'm hanging in, and it's a little overcast and rainy down in South Louisiana in Bayou country, but we looks like it's going to be turning a little chilly down here. So, but Rita, before we get into this week's show, they've had some changes in the, as you know, we've been broadcasting to go to the National Hardware Show in Las Vegas. That has changed, and I know you're going to be putting up that information on the website, and you're going to be doing another. We're going to be going somewhere else, right? You have all the final details for that, right? Quick.
I do. We are so excited because, it's growing. We are taking another step forward for our inventor family. We are going to ASD Market Week, which covers everything from what you would find at the National Hardware Show, which we consider like, the Home Depot, to a Target, Walmart, everything from, the traditional tools and electrical and plumbing and grilling that we always would have, to now the tools, the electrical, plumbing, and baby products and sporting goods and, anything and everything that you would find now at your big box store. So we are really excited. It'll be the same thing, 600 square feet. Inventors that have been on the radio show looking for licensing, and now they actually have a section for licensing, which is really exciting. But it opens up the doors for so many of our inventors to join us. And so we're real excited. It's in March. It's March 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th, so an extra day, much larger show. And, we are just really excited to be able to bring this to our audience, and we'll be broadcasting from the floor like we always used to do, but bigger, better, and, more outreach. It's business to business, so just like before, wholesalers coming in, looking for new products, and being able to say, oh, yeah, I'd like to order, 24 of these. I'd like to order, this for the next season. Wow. And so it really gives us a bigger outreach and all of our inventors as well. So we're looking forward to it.
And it's a couple weeks before the National Hardware Show, right?
Right. Same. It's going to be March 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th, so 2 weeks earlier. Same location, Las Vegas Convention Center. We will be on the general merchandise area, so we'll be on the main floor of South Hall. The show is actually the South Hall, main floor, top floor, and Central Hall, so it is huge.
Wow, gotcha. All right, then. Well, let's start the show a little bit. And as we get close, we're going to give some more details, right?
Right. We will have, the booth space location. We will be starting to list the products on the Invent America. That was one of the reasons we did a new Invent America website. So invent-america.com, the products that we're taking will be listed there. So if you're out there and you're thinking, holy cow, I should be going to this show, get in touch with me because we are, looking at those products that we can take, show off, help inventors, be able to get their message out. And we have had so many more people contact us since we've started putting this out. It's so exciting. So I'm excited.
So
you can tell I'm excited.
Marita, what are we going to talk about this week?
We are talking about how important it is in a licensing agreement to maintain control of the intellectual property. And so a lot of inventors, they'll come to me and they'll say, well, I was told. And it's like, just because you were told that, does it really make sense? And they go, well, no. And I said, well, then it's probably not the right idea. And so when they say, I was told that I could let a licensee file my intellectual property. No. The intellectual property is the only thing that gives you leverage and to hold them accountable. If you assign it away, then you lose. Yep. So we're going to talk today to a couple of inventors that went through this experience, and, it's really important for our inventors. You can tell I'm excited today. Our inventors to maintain control of that leverage, and I think a lot of inventors don't realize that the intellectual property system in one shape or another has been around in this country since the 1790s. So a long time. And it's been around in Europe since the 1400s.
And the only one that don't really have to worry about that is China because they steal it all. So they don't care. They have no intellectual property anyway. So they're going to just steal it.
Well, they have a system out there, and that's why a lot of our inventors do file there, because if you file there, they enforce it there. But we've done those topics. Today we're really talking about how important it is you maintain control. You file it. You maintain control of it, and that way then, yes, the licensee will generally fight when there's an infringement on your intellectual property because they put the money in developing the product. But you still maintain control of it, and that is the one thing. It's like they do the manufacturing, they do the marketing, and do everything. You keep control of your intellectual property.
Why do you think that is? They just don't know the process because, the average inventor is not really, Well,
the average inventor isn't always aware. They get excited about their product. They don't understand, where they can be victimized. And that's our job. It's our job to say, no, this is the right way to do it. And when I talk to them and they really start to think about it, it makes sense. Because if you don't maintain the intellectual property, that's your leverage. That's what you say, this is mine. The USPTO said, this is mine, and I get to control it. If you sign it away, they control it. And, yes, if you still get your name on it, and this is where the problem is when it comes to licensing. Your name is still on it as the inventor, but somebody else has started paying the bills. That gives them leverage over you. So if the agreement goes south and you have to pull it back, but they've got leverage instead of you.
That's right. Well, Rita, there's the music. Rita, what time it is right now when you hear the music?
It is time to go and pay some bills.
I love it. You got to pay them bills. Got to stay on the air. But, hey, we're going to come back. Don't go nowhere. We have some guests, some topics, some inventors. We have, we introduce new products. Not only that, that's the blueprint to get your products to market. So it's kind of a really a good thing. So stay tuned right here on the Home Talk USA radio program, streaming live on the Genesis Communication Radio Network. This is the Invent America part of the Home Talk USA radio show right here. Y'all stay tuned. Me and Rita, the Inventor Lady, will be right back. Yeah.
Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Hi, everybody. We want to be so grateful that we have a home with Home Talk USA, and we're able to talk to all of the American inventors out there who are just getting started or are in the process. And if you are out there and you've got questions, you need some help, please give me a call. We have got wonderful service providers. Some of them are the sponsors of this show, and we have worked with them for years. Kicker Design is one of them, Product Quick Start, and Scott Tarsi with CAD drawings. He is going to be able to help you with that early stage prototype. And my next guest is Mel Sturr. He has been working with his daughter. She has a chronic illness that has required her to have a stoma or a feeding tube for about the last 8 years. And the reaction then has caused a serious irritation to her skin. Well, being a determined young woman, she went to college, became a chemist, and she found a cure for her own problem. But then, you go through the intellectual property stages and you realize, all right, here's the next step. Mel, tell us a little bit about Jasmine's story and how you've played a role as her dad.
Well, sure. So Rita did a great job of explaining the situation. And it was really just a trial and error, just trying to solve her own problem. She was working on the solution and realized that this was working. To talk to her, they said, look, if this works for you, it's going to work for a lot of other people. And so that was sort of the spark of going down this road of getting a patent, because that was the next step. We were all new to this, so there's a lot of learning along the process. We ran into Rita along the way, which was great, because going from an idea to a patent, then trying to find a company to license it that can be daunting. But it all works. But it comes from the idea that you have a good product that people will need and want.
It does. I mean, when you guys first talked to me, and and she told me what was going on, and you guys explained it, it's like, to me, this is a game changer. This is one of those products that makes life better for, the different people out there. And the cool thing is that the company that ended up licensing it, they're the ones that make the product, the Stoma, and we've known this is a problem, and we could never solve it. So, they understood it. It's wonderful when the different people, see what's going on, and the doctors and the nurses who tested this product, the other patients who tested it for you guys, they were just absolutely blown away.
Yeah, no, it's quality of life, and it comes from a lived experience solution, and those are the two best. The best combination.
Yeah, it really does. Now, the company that went ahead and did the agreed to the licensing agreement, they were really wonderful to deal with, and these are some of the things that that we look for. And so, tell us what happened when we were negotiating the deal. I was a licensing agent, so I know what was going on, but I want them to hear from you what was going on.
Sure. So first we had to vet each other, right? So nobody's going to come in and say, we're just going to do this, sort of sight unseen. So that took a little bit of time, but was very, very fruitful. They asked some good, tough questions, and we sent it off to them. The advantage of working with Rita on this is that the licensing process was sort of controlled, and we initiated the contract, which I thought was a big deal, rather than the other way around. So we were able to put it in the terms that we needed, but also protected them. It was a win-win scenario. So, that was really important, in the process.
It wasn't in those early. We always look at it as the letter of intent, kind of those first 6 bullet points. And if we can't agree on those, it's silly to do a contract. And in there, they wanted to read, what was filed, the utility or the non-provisional patent application. That's kind of the car they're taking for the test drive. Mm-hmm. And then in the agreement, it was great that they asked us to provide them with the agreement, because when we're presenting it, we know what's in it. When the company, the licensee, presents it, you got to read it like it's a new best-selling murder mystery and make sure that everything lines up right. But one of the things it allowed us to do is to make sure that in there you and Jasmine maintain all control of the intellectual property. So if for some reason this deal didn't work out, you don't have to go through the tug of war to get back control of your intellectual property.
Correct. And you put that in there, so that was very, very important.
And because there are things that happen. It's just like when Eric was talking and he said, pandemic. Well, nobody put that in their business plan. Somebody quits. Somebody doesn't like the product. Somebody else goes back through some records, and, they want to go back and say, oh, well, we already were working on something like this. And so maintaining that control, that leverage over the intellectual property, and sometimes they make changes, but when we put in the agreement that anything dealing with Stoma Saver is your intellectual property to control. Mm-hmm. And that is really critical then to your leverage.
Right. So, and go ahead.
I was just going to say, so, you've got a launch coming up now in a few months. Tell our inventors this is so exciting. It's one thing you get through all these steps, but holy cow, we got a launch coming. So tell our inventors about kind of the time frame and where they plan to launch the product.
So we're still dealing with the FDA approval, but and they've hired, again, this is great because they're coordinating the consultant for the regulations. But once that's done, we have a show coming up in Tampa in the first week of March, and we're ready to go. This is going to be great.
All right. It's so exciting. We'll keep everybody informed. We'll let everybody know what's going on. Anyway, we're off to pay some bills. Mel, thank you so much, and give Jasmine our best for us.
You bet. Thank you.